Think about the last time you walked into a room, maybe it was a conference room or a friend's house or a waiting area, and before anyone said a word, you knew something. Something in the air told you how people were feeling. Maybe it was tight. Maybe it was warm. Maybe someone had just been crying or laughing or arguing. You felt it. Here's what I want you to sit with. Your clients feel you the exact same way. Every time you show up to a session, you're transmitting something. The question is, do you know what it is? I've had coaches tell me, Cherie, I keep my stuff separate. My client doesn't know what's going on with me. And I just smile, because here's the thing, they absolutely know. They may not be able to name it. They may not consciously register it, but their nervous system is picking up on yours, whether you realize it or not. So I want you to really ask yourself, when your client logs on to that Zoom call or sits down across from you, what signal are you sending before you even open your mouth? Are you rushed? Are you distracted by the argument you had that morning? Are you already planning what you're going to make for dinner? Or are you grounded, present, fully there? This is now official ICF language. Marker 2.1 says, coaches must remain aware of how their thoughts and behaviors influence the client and others. Now, if you're pursuing your credential, this is language assessors will be listening for evidence of in your recording. But more than that, it's the foundation of showing up as a professional. You can't serve someone well if you're unconsciously sabotaging the space with your own unexamined stuff. I want you to notice something important. This marker didn't exist before. ICF added it in their 2025 competency update, and that tells us something significant. For years, we've talked about presence, we've talked about mindset, we've talked about emotional regulation, but now the profession is saying explicitly what happens inside you doesn't stay inside you. It moves outward. It affects your clients. And you need to be aware of that dynamic. This isn't just a nice idea anymore. It's a professional standard. ICF is formally recognizing what master coaches have always known. Your state isn't contained within your skin. It ripples into every conversation you have. Let me paint a picture for you. I had a colleague once who rushed into a session straight from a really intense meeting, the kind where people were pointing fingers and tensions were high. She thought she'd handled it fine, put it aside, showed up for her client. 10 minutes into the session, her client said, I don't know, something feels off today. I'm having trouble opening up. Compare that with this. Another coach I know takes 3 deep breaths before every session, just 3. She centers herself, lets go of whatever came before, and arrives fresh. One of her clients actually commented, unprompted, I always feel so calm when we talk. It's like I can finally think clearly. See the difference? Same skill level, same training, but one created tension without meaning to, and the other created space. This is the neuroscience of co-regulation. Our nervous systems are constantly calibrating to each other. It's not woo-woo. It's biology. So what do we do with this? Let me give you 3 practical takeaways. First, those few minutes before a session matter more than you think. That's not just scheduling buffer. That's your time to land, to transition from whatever you were doing into who you need to be for this client. Use that time intentionally. Second, pay attention to what you're carrying with you. That unresolved conflict with your partner, that stress about money, that frustration from your last session, your clients are picking up on it even when you think you're hiding it well. You're not as good an actor as you think. Third, and this connects back to what we talked about earlier regarding self-awareness, remember that whatever's happening for you is part of the coaching container. You're co-creating this relationship, and your inner experience is part of what gets co-created. Now, I don't want you to hear this and think you need to fake it. Please don't do that. Clients can smell a performance from a mile away. If you're forcing a smile while your insides are churning, that disconnect creates more problems than your original stress would have. This isn't about pretending to be calm. It's about actually doing the work to become resourced. There's a big difference. One is a mask. The other is genuine groundedness. And here's the beautiful part. When you're genuinely centered, your clients feel permission to explore more openly. Your settledness becomes part of the container that holds them. That's not something you can fake. That's something you have to cultivate. So here's what I want you to take with you. You're always transmitting something. Always. The question isn't whether you influence your clients. Of course you do. The question is whether you're aware of that influence and whether you're taking responsibility for it. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish in this work. It's professional. It's necessary. It's part of how you show up for the people who trust you with their growth. Now, your influence matters, but you can't manage that influence if you can't manage your own emotions. And that's exactly where we're going next.